right. Welcome back. Rise and shine on a blissful 1 a.m. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to the series. Yeah, it's been quite a journey, eh? Today I'm gonna be touching on roundabouts. This is probably the main reason why there are no intersections on this drawing at all. This is another drawing file. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how to create an intersection. I'll be placing it over here, and yeah, I'll take you through the procedure, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I'm gonna touch on roundabouts in this video. Um, there are a few things I have left out, not on purpose. My apologies, but they will be touched on in future episodes. So yeah, without further talk, let's jump in. So roundabout, another different type of intersection. Some call them traffic circles. Uh, yeah, terminology. I don't know which is which, but I prefer roundabout. Also, I mean it's actually mentioned here. It's right there. So how you create one? So just make sure you're on home. You'll find it under intersections. So you gotta click on intersections. Then the second option is whoops to click on create roundabout. Now, if you are not creating this for the first time, you'll be immediately met with this box. However, if it is your first time working with roundabouts in in this specific drawing, as an example, you'll get this box right here. So ignore this one. Let's look at this one. If anything, can I? Yes. So this will be the screen that you see first, the first time you use um, the roundabouts option. Will give you a list of standards or global standards. So standards from Brazil, Britain, um, Denmark. Yeah, so I'm not gonna name all of them, but this just gives you all the library of all the design standards. Now, there is no South African, as you may have picked up here. You have US and all the likes, but we adopt we develop my English. We adopt roundabout standards from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. I'm yet to be corrected. This is from my research, but this is the design standards that we typically use. So you're gonna select that. So there are these little plus icons on the side here. You're gonna click on that, and this gives you the name of the guide. And then again, you click on the small plus right here, and then so it'll give you four options. So there are four options under this guide. So it varies between rural and urban, and on top of that, it's been split to either your single lane or your double lane roundabout. Now, the road we've been designing this entire series has been a single lane, which I say 2 lane. So it's best to use a single lane roundabout. You can't be using a double lane. It wouldn't make sense. Then rural, I chose rural because we're working in a rural area. It's in Pumalanga after all, especially in the area that this road is being redesigned in. So it makes sense to select this. So once that's done, you're gonna click on OK. Now, after selecting, you won't see this box directly. If anything, if you get you'll get like a separate box that asks you to set that standard by as a default. Then you are welcome to choose yes or no. Then what will happen is once you've made your selection, only then you'll see this box. Now you're gonna give your roundabout a name. So I'll say Sandy's roundabout. Right. So this is a roundabout name. You can give a description, add some few notes. Calculate elevations you can leave on, and then standard use this is the one you've selected in the first box. Now these parameters right here. So your inscribed circle diameter, your center island diameter, and apron width. These values can be changed, but remember you'll see that there are minimum and maximum values. These are per the standard, so you cannot go beneath or above or below or above these values. So what I usually do is change the center island diameter. I'm gonna go for a humble 30, though that may not seem as realistic. But then again, one of the roads connecting to the redesign design speed like what 110, not mistaken, or 60. I don't know, but we can change this to maybe like a 25. Yeah, 25 makes more sense. So yeah. So what happens is once you change one of these, the other will change. So these two correlate. You change one, the other changes. Apron width, I usually leave as is. Circulatory lanes. So remember, this ties in with your standards. So if you're using single lane, then you only have one circulatory lane. If it's a double lane, you have two. And next, your appearance. So draw style, you can change this to your liking. I usually just leave it as it is. It's gonna be like this in most cases, but I'm just gonna go for light colors for dark background. Surface. Now here under existing surface, you can change this to your natural ground level or your ground line. And then final surface. Now if you so happen to have a corridor surface, I will touch more on that in a future episode. Then you can add that to your final surface, then you're gonna take care. But we're not gonna do that. But the end goal will still be produced, or the end product will still be produced rather. Then you can click on OK. Then you'll see on your screen right now you have this circle. So this will be the island, and you need to choose where you're gonna place it. So just look for where your two alignments intersect one another, and then you're gonna click there. Then you'll see that it says send is roundabout, and then we do have an error there, a bit of an unfortunate error. Not needed, but here we are, unfortunately. So another thing, just remember that uh, for you to have for you to have like the arms for your roundabout properly generated, because what this will happen is it'll create a separate corridor for that roundabout. Just make sure you have alignment lines. It's best to work that way. So at that point you can create or you can use the appropriate profile for that arm, and it's gonna be less of an hassle. Of a hassle. My English is bad today. Anywho, let's start selecting our arms for our roundabout. So arms are basically this, so going outwards like so. So let's start with this one. So you see it's arm one, alignment two up top here. That's the name. I'm gonna leave it as it is, and then take elevation from. This is where you're gonna select the profile associated with that alignment. Um, so mine is A2 vert 2, A2 vert I mean, and then approach road alignment offset and central gap width. I usually don't change these. You can leave this as blank. And then approaching and departing lanes. Now here again, this will follow your design criteria. So just uh, look out for this at the appropriate values and then click on OK, and you'll see that your arms extend out to that one arm. Okay. And then if we're to follow the same procedure with this arm over here, so here it says arm one, I'm gonna change it to arm two. And then this is your alignment name, profile, make sure it's selected, and then lane width, lane width. Okay. So this is your second arm, done. And then lastly, this one. Okay, so this is the last arm. So you can say arm three, and then again, just make sure your profile is correctly selected, and then change the lane width, change some lane width. Oh, okay, okay, done. So this is your roundabout. Now just realize this, the direction, because I'm looking at these dotted lines. I can assume this is where someone would yield, and then they would possibly turn and go this direction. This is the wrong This is the wrong direction. This is not South African, but I'm sure there'll be a way to change that. So once you've selected all your arms, you can press enter. And what this does is it'll create a corridor for that roundabout. So let's give it a bit of time. Um, surely it, yeah, there we go. So it's modeling some corridors, and then you'll see that it'll give you something like this. It's still creating. My goodness. There we go. Yeah, looks like a mess. My God. Okay, done. So there you have it. This is your corridor for your roundabout. Yeah, it does look a bit freaky because, as you can see, some most of it is being dominated by daylight, especially this big portion right here. This is the daylight, and then this would be your lanes, and then this would be your curbs, and then you have some. Also, you also have some extra bits of like your road elements within your roundabout. So you have some inner, you have an inner assembly over here, so it creates um inner lanes, and then yeah, again same thing here. Your lane plus your curb. How you know which is which is if you zoom out quickly, and then you go to where you've created your assemblies. You'll see that the very same. These are the assemblies that were used throughout your roundabout. Now, these will be automatically generated once your roundabout is done. So if you were to change one of your assemblies from there, it'll automatically update. It's not like your standard corridors where you have to right click and rebuild over and over. Once you change one portion of your assembly that's connected to your roundabout, it automatically changes. So I'm looking at here. Okay, so these are parts of the roundabout assembly, which gives you this as the end product. Now, I want to select the corridor, not the corridor, but the roundabout quickly, and let's see if we can do some changes. Roundabout properties. Yes, so you'll be given this option over here. Let's see general. Okay, I think we can change standard. If I say British and then geometric design, uh, normal roundabout single carriageway. I'm gonna use this one. Okay. Confirm, replace. Okay. So I think it's currently updating the drawing. Okay. Let's close. Why aren't you closing? Okay, definitely no change whatsoever. We're doing fine with the um Osthold, but what you'll see there is you have a bit of road markings here on your roundabout. I'm actually gonna change it back to um I change it back to Osthold. So give me a second. I'm gonna undo. Where's undo? IntelliZoom one up. Okay, I'm gonna undo this whole portion, and yeah, we're back to normal. So yeah, this is long and short. This is your roundabout. Now, oh my goodness. Now, what you can do if you want your roundabouts to be more seamless with your existing corridors is you can change the elements of the assemblies that are connected to this roundabout. So where there's a curb, as an example, where there's a curb, let's say for one of these, where there's a curb, we don't have any curbs. If you were to look at our cross section, which is this one, yes. Excuse me, we don't have any curbs. We have lanes and we have shoulders. So you can replace the curbs with the shoulders and then have the very same daylights, and automatically update once that's done. So there are two ways of doing this. I keep zooming in and out, I'm so sorry. There are two ways of doing this. You can either change the assemblies directly, or you can work from the corridor properties where you can change the cross sections. So actually what I've done, if you notice, within this small circle, apart from these two guys over here, I've created my very own um possible elements or possible assemblies for my roundabout. So what's highlighted there, this is more or less similar to what all of these up here would be. So it's the same thing, just repeated three times. So for each arm. So you have your inner. So this is your assembly for your inner. What's this? I'm forgetting the name. If I were to go to one of this. Yes, so your inter arms. This is the typical assembly that will be used. And then this is the left, this is the right, using lanes only, and then this would be part of your verge. These two here, so these contain shoulders only and your daylight. So verge left, verge right. That's literally what I've named them. Uh, yeah, if you check their name, though I can't move the cursor. And yeah, so I've created this for the sole purpose of changing this under your corridor properties. Again, you can change the assemblies directly, but yeah, I think that all comes down to preference and which one you think would be less time consuming. So I'm gonna actually show you a procedure of one of them. The other one is fairly the simplest, which is just deleting a curbs or something like this. So your first plan of attack would be to delete, let's say, this curb. So once you delete this, again, it updates the roundabout. Delete this as well, it updates the roundabout. Also bear in mind, just remember which side that curve was lying. So if I was lying on the right hand side, you need a right hand shoulder. So I'll just take one from here and select these two. Then on top here on your screen, you're gonna go to copy, and then you're gonna go back to where you've deleted um your curb, and you paste them there. And then just like that, um this will update everything on your relating to this on your roundabout. You can take this route. Remember, you're not only changing your shoulders, you're also changing the lanes as well. Remember, the lane elements that you've used for your standard road will differ from the one that's been preset for you. So you need to change that. So the procedure applies. Just delete one, and then you can select the one from your end, from your assembly. You just hit copy, then you go to the one that you've deleted from, you paste, and then as you can see, proving my point, you'll see there's inconsistency here. So that has to be dealt with. So you can remove this lane, you can delete that, and then you can just mirror, and then select the very same assembly, and then paste. So yeah, whichever one floats your boat, you are more than welcome. The end result should be the same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the corridor properties method, just so you can see how I would change um, my my corridor for my roundabout. Right, let's continue. So what was I? Okay. You're gonna go to I just want to show you guys how to change from your corridor properties. Excuse me. So remember the assemblies I've made myself. Oh, okay, wrong section. Just make sure you're on parameters. Now you will see there's a lot. happening here. So stuff like your roundel inter arm. The good thing is it does indicate on your corridor, so you'll see where it's red and blue. Those are just your baselines and regions. So you just change these based on which one's appropriate. So assemblies. Okay, so you're gonna select the region. So just make sure that you select not the baseline. The baseline will be in red, and just underneath that's the region. And then you're gonna go to your right. You click on the assembly. Then I'm gonna go up because that's where all my roundabout elements are. So these five right here. So you see these are just repeated. Some say entry, some say exit. There's like a bunch of these. But there should be one, two, three, four, five, six, seven in total. One of which is probably gonna be your full cross section, but it's fine. So I select I'm gonna select the inner. So this one, it's good to click on apply every now and then just to see if they correlate. So I'm gonna just click on OK quickly. I'm not done yet. I'm just gonna zoom in slightly more so you can see what's happening. And then, okay, when I carry on, let's select this one. So we're dealing with this. Now, the way I've um, sort of visualized this is when you're working with the lanes, it'll say inner left. I know it's on the left, but it's on the right. But usually the verge, which is the portion that's on the far end, would be, or the far right, I mean, would be right, and then the one inside would be left. The road inside or the lane inside would be left, so something like this. Then if I click on apply, okay, you'll see nothing has changed. Then if you select this one quickly, actually, let's move this box slightly. So this is your outer curb entry verge. You then select that. I'm gonna say verge right. Say okay, apply. Okay, it's still the same. Fine. And then now we're working. So you'll see this blue line. It actually selects this portion right here. So that is for your outer curb inter arm. Just make sure you select that. I'm gonna select inner left again. Apply. Okay, it hasn't changed. And then this is your again this is your verge. So just make sure you select your right side of the verge. Okay. Update. So apply. So okay, we are gonna continue. Uh then this is okay, so you notice the highlight is now on the left, so you're gonna select inner right, apply, and then we'll say verge left for this one. Wrong side. Apply. Let's see. Okay. Some progress. Wait, one of these was actually set it wrongly. Why is it not working? Okay. Now, okay, before I scroll down too fast. So again, this is highlighted. So at this point, I'm just gonna end up zooming, not zooming, but just fast forwarding just to change everything else, and I can show you what each portion would look like. Oh, after changing all of these, how they would look like. So I'll just continue, then I'll speed this up so you can see the final product. Okay, so this is the final roundabout done. This is becoming a bit of a disturbance. This vehicle tracking, is there a way to actually gonna get this deleted? Don't know if this is allowed, so I'll say no. So this is what your roundabout will look like. Um, so I don't know what's going on here. This side there's no daylight being generated. Actually, what I'm thinking of doing is deleting all of these daylight, all these assemblies. So this will be the assemblies for the roundabout. So these are the presets created. I will get these deleted. Hide. And then what's missing? If we look at our current um roundabout. Okay. So if I were to try and rebuild this again for this one specifically, why is this one so short? I don't understand. Okay. Apply. Still nothing. Okay. That's fine. Regardless, this is our roundabout done. So now you can just link this. If we push this to this section over here and see how that looks. Okay, see, not too far off from what we have from our regular corridors. If I drag this here, again, not too far off, you'll see that there's some similarities there. And then last but not least, this long road over here. I'm just gonna drag that until the very beginning of the roundabout. Maybe somewhere there. This will take a bit of time. Yeah, it's still generating, it's still modeling the corridor, and then boom. Wait for it. It's still it's still cooking. It's still cooking. It's still cooking. Oh my goodness. We have an issue here. Wait, if I rebuild this, hang on. Rebuild. There we go. Yeah, and okay, again, it's not too far off from what we have on our main corridor. The only issue is just the daylight over here. I wonder what's causing it not to generate. Um, let's see if I can create a duplicate for which one? It's this one, I believe. Yeah, let's create a duplicate for this. So I'm gonna say assembly and then uh, R2. Just paste that there and then copy these two and then slap them there. Let's see if there's any luck with regards to this. So we're gonna change the verge right. So I'll say R2 instead. R2, okay, apply. Still the same. It has not changed anything. That's odd. So it's just this portion right here. But apart from that, I hope the idea has maintained the same. So this is a roundabout. Ladies and gentlemen. My apologies if I do sound tired. I mean, I am recording on a 2 a.m. Um, such ungodly hours, but hey, the things that need to be done to make sure you guys understand the procedure. And yeah, this is your roundabout. I could drive, but given how slow my laptop is, don't think there's a need for that. So yeah, so I think that's all intersections done. Uh, yeah. So this is how you get your roundabouts. I did delete the whole tracking, with the whole tracking, which showed the roundabouts, the road signs, and all that. Um, This just for presentation purposes, and yeah, everything just looked clustered along with the corridor there. But it does provide some useful information, um, especially for like road sign consideration and pedestrian crossing. But yeah, apart from that, this has been Roundabouts. Thank you so much for tuning in. My goodness, why? Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys can have a look at this video, replay, rewatch, and what you need to do. And then I'll see you guys in the next episode. Again, we're near the end, so let's hang in there. Let's carry on. And see you next time.